Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to selling on Amazon and e-commerce in general. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecomcy, and today we bring you a very special guest. His name is Kevin King. He's a very well-known person in the space. He's an Amazon seller. He's the host of the AMPM podcast. He has his own brands across, many different niches. He has also an amazing in-person event called in the Billion Dollar Summit, which we're also going to be talking a little bit about that and many more things, which I'm sure Kevin, once he does his intro, is going to tell us about. And for me, it's a pleasure, to be honest, to have Kevin today because I've been following him from the very beginning. Actually, he was like my university to the Amazon space. All the different knowledge I gained to become a seller and then even do the agency was from the foundation, Kevin with Money Codes, one of the founders as well of Helium 10. So it's definitely a pleasure. And yeah, Kevin, thank you for being here. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure. We met for the first time in person here in London in Center Session. So I think it was 1 week ago now. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit over. Yeah,
Yeah. So we're having a lot of fun there. I mean, amazing speakers there, amazing people connecting and coming all across the globe. And for me, yes, it was great to meet you there. And when we're having the discussion, it was definitely a must for me to extend the invitation to have you on board because I know you have a lot of knowledge when it comes to, the latest hacks and strategies to sell on Amazon. And let's be honest, nowadays, each day Amazon gets more and more tough, and I'm pretty sure those tips can be very handy for a lot of sellers. Now, before we jump into that and all the technicality, I would like to give you a few minutes to, give us a little bit of intro about how you jump into Amazon space. Who is Kevin King? Because I know you're very well known, but still there might be some people that might not know you, and it would be great to learn a little bit about your background. Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I've been doing e-commerce since before Google existed. So Google came around about 1999 or 98, somewhere around that 99 2000.
Yeah.
I was actually selling things online starting in 1995, and before that, I was selling things via the mail, via the post.
Wow.
And so I've been doing this direct to consumer, direct marketing is what it's technically called for a long time. And I started selling on Amazon, I think in 2001.
Hmm.
And there was no FBA or anything back then. I just there was a consignment program where we had a company. We were doing wall calendars, and so we would ship them into Amazon, and they'd sell maybe a 50 or 100 a year or something during
Yeah.
the calendar season. Now we
Okay.
sell that per day, but
Wow.
so that
Big
evolved
change.
into big change. That evolved into around 2015. I started doing the what most people consider selling on Amazon, the FBA model,
Hmm.
and started 5 brands at the same time in 2015. Still
Yeah.
run 2 of those brands. 3 of them I've discontinued. Plus, I have a few other brands that I've started since then. Yeah, like you said, I do the AMPM podcast for Helium
Okay.
10. I was good friends with the guys who started Helium 10. They sold the company in 2019,
Yeah.
but the guys that started it, I was good friends with them. So they brought me on to do the Freedom Ticket course, which is a
Mhm.
course for new people.
Best course out there, by the way. Yeah, I recommend it
Appreciate that.
100%.
It's free if you have a Helium 10 membership. I mean, you need
Yeah,
Helium if you need Helium 10 to do your research.
yeah,
So
it's
you get the
included. Why?
course for free, and
Yeah.
it's about 60 hours. It's the most comprehensive course that
Hmm.
exists out there. We
Yeah.
go over everything, even the not so fun and sexy stuff. And then I do the Helium 10 Elite for Helium 10, which is their advanced training. That's once a month. I have the $1 Billion Seller Summit,
Hmm.
which is a twice a year, once in person and once in uh, uh, virtually. I also have a newsletter called $1 Billion Sellers that's coming out this summer.
Wow, looking forward to
I have this Collective Mind Society that I do with Norm Farrar, with Steve
that. Hmm.
Simonson. I do Product Savants. So I'll probably keep naming some stuff. I'm sure I'm
A
forgetting
lot of
something,
things.
but
Yeah.
quite a few things.
Yeah. Actually, just before doing the episode, we were talking about this. That for us, weekends is the opportunity to catch up with projects, and the same like you. Usually we as entrepreneurs, we always have so many things going on, and it's like one opportunity leads to another opportunity, and especially in the Amazon space, there are so many things that can be done. Yes, so it's definitely always running on the hamster wheel 24/7.
Well, what happens is when you travel, when you go to London, like I did when I met you, that's 5 days right there that I lose. I mean,
Hmm.
not that I lose. That's the wrong way to look at it. That's 5 days, and I'm not actually getting things done in the office. I'm gaining because I'm meeting people like yourself and
Yeah.
networking and learning some stuff and taking a break and refreshing the mind, get the creative juices going. But then when you come back, it's like, all right, now I got to catch up on all these
I know.
emails and all these things that got ignored.
Yeah, and the time zone and all that. Yeah, very difficult. I know, I know. And now, let's get started a little bit with, what I had in mind to cover today, which is basically some of the latest things going on in the Amazon space right now. And one of the things that I found very interesting is basically what is going on when it comes to launching products on Amazon nowadays, and what is working and what is not working. So, I know you have a lot of experience on that field, and maybe you can bring something to the table in terms of what have you seen right now working really the best when it comes to launching products on Amazon in terms of PPC or giveaways, etc., and all of that. Yeah.
Well, it depends on if you're a new seller or if you're an experienced seller that's been doing this for a while. It's a different approach or slightly different approaches. So there's some caveats there. Or if you already have a following or not, on social media or something like that, or you have your own email list. But the main way that most people are still doing it is PPC is the above board way, just heavy dose of PPC, really high tacos to begin with for the first month or so, basically losing money in most cases for that first month to try to get position and keyword rank. Some people are still doing the old search, find, buy launches.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that anymore, and Amazon frowns on that. And if they catch you, but there's still people that are doing those kinds of things. Getting friends and family to buy a product. They just can't leave a review. Otherwise, that could get you in a little bit of trouble. But they can buy the product. If you go to a church or something, or you're in some sort of group,
communities, basically.
Yeah, they have communities do it. But the hot one that I think, and I'm actually talking about this at the $1 Billion Seller Summit in June, is actually newsletters. That's where I think the major opportunity is right now to actually build communities and build audiences. The old way was go to Facebook and set up a Facebook group or and try to
ManyChat
or ManyChat or try to get. But the problem with those is people have to come to you. With email and a newsletter, you go to them. And a lot of people say, Kevin, yeah, you're just old guy. Nobody's on email anymore. Everybody's on TikTok and everybody's on
dancing around.
That's absolutely wrong. Email is still the road that most people travel on.
That's right.
They may not check it every day. They may not, but email is where it's at, and you're in control. When you set up a Facebook group or a TikTok channel or Instagram channel to try to build communities, that's not your community. That's Meta's community. They're the ones that own that community. They can shut you down at any time. In most cases, you don't even know who those people are, other than their name that shows up on the screen name. You have no way to really. You can DM them, but they limit that, to a certain number. Otherwise, it's considered spam. So you have no true control. The true control is if you have the customer's name, email address, SMS, if possible, their phone number, and their actual physical address. Those are the things that every business should treat like gold.
Yes.
If you're not trying to get that information, valid information, not BS. Like, I'm doing a party at SellerCon, which is happening here in Austin.
I saw it all over the place.
Yeah, it's called Carnival of Dreams, and people sign up for that, and some people give a bogus email address, and we just sent out a message that to the people saying, here's an update, and some of those came back as invalid emails or undeliverable. Those people's tickets got canceled because the whole point is we're throwing a massive cool party, but we want to know who you are, and so that doesn't mean we're going to spam the crap out of you, but we want to know who you are and be able to reach you. That's the whole point of doing it, so that we can build community. And so if you're not going to play, then we're not going to play either. So, but that's making sure they're valid. And there's lots of tools that will do this. But when you set up and I'm not talking about a lot of us, when I say newsletter, every ad agency out there, every software company, they have a newsletter that they send out, but these are all promotional. These are all, this is our latest new feature on the tool. This is, look at this success story with our client. They're very promotional. I'm talking about if you're selling, like in the pet space, we're doing a company right now. One of our companies is we sell sustainable pet products. So pet product, we'll sell a life jacket for dogs, and that's made out 80% of the product is made out of recycled plastic bottles that came out of the ocean, for example.
Okay.
So people that are interested in dogs, are passionate about pets and dogs, and they're also passionate about the environment. We mix those two niches together, and that's what we target. And to do that, what we're doing is we're building a newsletter around dogs. So it's not a newsletter around Kevin's company. Here's our latest cool new products. It's a newsletter around dogs. And what we do is with the technology that's out there right now, by combining some of these cool software tools that exist, along with AI and along with Web3.
I was going to mention that. I bet you can automate the whole thing. Yeah.
You can do no, you can't automate the whole, you can automate the whole thing, but it's not, you need a person or two overseeing it. But whereas I did this 20 years ago, before all these tools existed, we had 5 people doing it. Now you can do it with 1, maybe 2 people. It depends on the level you want to do that. And some of that could be part-time, depending on how often you're sending these out. But what you do with this newsletter, we're not just sending the same newsletter to everybody, because with AI, we can when someone signs up for the newsletter, we can say, what kind of dog do you have? Oh, I have a Dachshund, or I have a Beagle, or I have a German Shepherd. And then we can tailor the newsletter so that it's almost like a personalized feed that, some of the stories are the same for everybody, but some of it's how to train your Dachshund. And here's tips on, on Dachshund. So you're getting stuff very relevant to you. With AI, we can have people upload a picture of their Dachshund, and then every day they get a new picture, like almost like a new meme, with their dog featured in the picture. So every day they're wanting to open that newsletter to see what kind of cool picture of their dog is coming across. Maybe it's a dog's birthday and he's wearing a little birthday hat with candles or whatever. You can do all kinds of cool stuff, automate this with AI. And then you build engagement. We have games in it. We have other stuff in it. We can do affiliate links in there, so we can test. Like maybe we're thinking, maybe we should, we're thinking about selling this one dog treat. Let's push some traffic to Amazon to somebody else's listing. Or I could do trades with other people and see, if our audience likes that. Maybe they do. Then like, well, look, we got 5,000 subscribers on our newsletter. 250 of them just bought this dog treat. Maybe we should consider doing this, because that means that we could probably launch something with these people. And then when you have it's got to be like 90% content and maybe 10% promotional. And then you come back, and when you're launching a new product, you have a built-in audience to launch this new product and go launch it on Walmart or Amazon or whatever. And it's fully legit, fully above board. And then we're tying NFTs into it, Web3, to where we're doing membership stuff. So if you if you have an NFT, these are not NFTs, little JPEGs that you're hoping
making millions
that you're going to make. You buy it for $100 and it's going to be worth $1 million next year. That's not what we're doing. The NFTs are more like membership cards. It's more like
trading club.
Like a club, but it allows us to do some pretty cool stuff on the blockchain, where when you buy our product, we can actually, you can scan an NFC, not NFT, but NFC code on the product with your phone, and that can automatically drop something into your digital wallet, like another NFT, like a bonus NFT, or like an additional something. If we know you're a Dachshund person, you might get an extra NFT of some cool Dachshund. And then that gets you rights to get 10% off your next order or whatever. There's all this kind of stuff that you can do. Now, this is not necessarily something that a beginner maybe can do to launch their product on Amazon, but if you're an experienced seller, especially if you already have a list, you could start this, and it's on. There's major opportunity here, and
awesome.
That's what we're doing right now, and it's a little bit more advanced, but I think you're going to see that Amazon is becoming more advanced. Launching on Amazon is not what it used to be, where you could just find something on Alibaba, stick your logo on it, and
that's
throw it up.
For sure.
I mean, it still happens. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen. But if you're trying to make a real business out of this, and actually for us in the West, in Europe and the US and Australia and Canada and so on, we need to make real money. We need to make, 50, 100,000 plus a year, to support ourselves or our families. Now, if I'm living in Pakistan and I can make $1,000 a month selling on Amazon, that's life changing. So it's all relative. So you could look at different level of products, but that's Amazon is now. It's a true Amazon is selling. E-commerce is becoming more and more of a true business, and you got to be thinking outside the box and thinking of different ways that you can gain leverage and compete. And that's where a lot of people are kind of stuck, and they're saying, "Oh, this Amazon thing is over." It's not. Amazon's still massive, still the best place to launch products. It just needs to be the shopping cart of choice for people rather than the focus.
Fully agree. Fully agree. And I think something that maybe you can also do with this newsletter is that you can even use the refer bonus, and you can get some 10% by bringing this outside traffic, right? From
Yep,
this
you can.
email search.
There's tools out there now that track all that stuff for you. So if you refer your friends, you can. I mean, I'm doing it right now. If you go to billiondollar-sellers.com, not $1 billion sellers, no, $1 billion sellers. It's a very basic, rudimentary site because I just put it up as a test about a week ago. And people sign up for a newsletter I'm doing for the Amazon space coming out this summer, and it'll be in July when it debuts. But what I'm doing is the first 500 people are going to be on the beta list because I want to test it, make sure the formatting's right, make sure everything's right. They're going to be getting it first. But in order to be in the first 500, you got to either be one of the first 500 to sign up, or if you're not, and right now I'm already way past 500, you can you can move up by referring people. So there's people right now that are referring that maybe when they signed up they were number 820, but every time you refer someone, you move up 10 spots. So that's one guy's referred like 50 people. So now he's in the top 500. So you can do things like that, but you could do that with discounts on your product or earn free product. There's so much things you can do.
Yeah.
That it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah. And what do you think, Vincent? That I think it would be a great idea to ask you, because I'm pretty sure you have experience with this. Is how do you see the strategy of using the inserts right now on products? So I guess this could go side by side with the newsletter strategy. You could onboard them into the newsletter, sell them other products. What do you think about this strategy right now, and if it's working based on your experience, like with
inserts properly done work. If you put a little, people have to see it. When I order a lot from Amazon. And a lot of times I'm just throwing that stuff away. The insert's tucked into the instruction manual, or it's buried, or it's a little business card and you can barely read it. It needs to be in your face. It needs to be like a huge stop sign, like stop, or, some bright color or some.
Yeah. Or if you don't do this, the product's not going to work.
Picture or whatever it may be, to make you stop and pay attention. And then if the offer is good on there, then it works. The problem is a lot of people say, get the free PDF or register your warranty. Yeah. Those in most cases aren't going to motivate a lot of people. What will motivate people is something that will add to the value of the product. So if I sold a vacuum cleaner, I could say, congratulations, thanks for ordering the vacuum cleaner, and get 3 additional attachments, special attachments. Just pay shipping and handling and they're yours free. And I'm actually selling those on Amazon for, $12.95 a piece, so that you can go buy them. So if someone wants to look up, oh crap, I'm getting $36 for free, and you charge them $7.95 or $9.95 shipping, which covers your shipping costs, hopefully, and your actual cost of the goods. These are cheaper little items that have high perceived value. Or you can do, if you don't want to do free plus shipping, offer them something just totally free. Like with our dog products, what we do is we have people register, get a sample pack of treats. So we'll say, we'd love to send you a sample pack of our additional treats. Just go to this website. They go to the website, they enter their name, and we ask them their dog's name and their dog's birth date. when we capture that information as well. And then what we do is we'll send them the little package of it's just like a small little package of treats. It costs us about $2 to send this out. With that money, that we spend, so if it's costing us about $2 on each one that we send out, roughly, it's small. These are like small little sample sizes. Like when you get the little small, you go to Chanel and they give you the little tiny little sample of cologne or perfume. It only works like once or twice. They're cheap and lightweight to ship. But the return on that investment, for every 10 that we send out, we spend $20, but we get a couple sales usually off of that as well. So that's like that's part of the ACOS or the tacos. It's just like running an ad, and we get people onto our list. Then what we do, we surprise and delight. So about a week before the dog's birthday, we send out a postcard in the mail. It says, "Happy birthday, Fido. Good job." Now with AI, we haven't been doing this yet, but with AI, we can customize that even more if we have a picture of the dog. But we'll send that out and say, make sure you tell your mommy or daddy, or we look at the gender of the name of who signed up. We can use software to tell you that guess. Usually 95% accuracy, guess the gender of the name. We'll say, make sure you tell mommy to go to Amazon and use this coupon for 25% off a new bed or whatever it may be. You do those kinds of things, it works. So the trick with inserts is the one thing you cannot do is ask for reviews.
Yes,
Amazon
I know.
technically says you
Mhm,
can't divert traffic away from Amazon,
mhm.
but that you're not diverting traffic, you're providing extra value.
It's part of the
That's
experience of buying.
part of the
Yeah.
experience. And if you look at all the big brands, Sony, you name it, Toshiba, they all put inserts or rebates, or they have different things in the package. This is nothing new. It's nothing wrong with it. But
Mhm.
what Amazon doesn't like is when you're using those to influence reviews, and
Yeah.
that's where you guys stay away from. So in our inserts, we don't even mention go leave a review. I mean, we used to do a little trick that said if you leave us a post a video to our Amazon listing,
Mhm.
we'll give you
Yeah.
something. And that to post a video, you have to actually write a review too. You can't just
I
post a
see.
video. So,
I see.
but we
Okay.
quit doing that. Amazon doesn't like that.
Yeah, it's
But
catching
that-
up with that. Hmm.
But those are
Yeah.
some of the things you have to think about. I mean, there's lots more
Yeah.
with inserts, and you got to surprise and delight and deliver value to get those names. People aren't just going to give that up.
Yeah, for sure. And I think talking about reviews, I guess you agree with me that one of the only things realistically we got left right now is Amazon buying, right? Because I think anything other than that, I feel you start going into the gray area right now within the Amazon space when it comes to reviews.
Yeah, Vine is the best thing that you can, for sure, that you can use. Now, the problem with Vine is if you're selling
It's
something,
harsh.
well, there's a couple of problems. One is those reviewers a lot of times are more critical. So make sure
I know.
your product is good, or you're going to get slammed, and
Mhm.
that'll hurt you. The other is that sometimes you don't get a full take up. You can give away 30 units, but sometimes they don't.
They don't
The
take them up.
product
Yeah.
that you're offering is like, oh, this is the 27th dog leash we've seen this month. I don't need another dog leash. So that's part of the problem too, is you don't always get a full take up. And so it's hard to control. Sometimes you wipe it out really fast. You have something people want, but if it's, just another commodity or another Me Too product, it can be difficult to get those to get taken up. And the others, people always say, how do you get reviews? If you're not going to cheat, you go to Vine, or you sell more products, because 1% to 2% of the people will naturally leave a review, just naturally.
That's right.
Now,
It's not must have. Mhm.
if some people like to use the little follow-up emails, that some of the different software tools have, Amazon has one built in. In my opinion, that worked in 2015, 2016. I used those tools back then, but I've quit using them for the last several years. I think they just annoy people, and
Yeah.
half the people have opted out. I don't use them. Some people say, well, it doesn't matter. I'll use them if I send 1,000 out and I only get one
Yeah.
review. That's one review I wouldn't have had otherwise. And you could think of it that way, but for me, it's just like, I'm just not going to bother people.
Yeah, no worry. Awesome. And now we talk a lot about the newsletter, which I love the strategy, because I know that I think one of the things that's putting brands apart in terms of success and failure right now in Amazon is having that community outside of Amazon, because with PPC being so expensive in some categories, relying only on PPC is difficult to be able to scale the brand forward. And the reason why I point this out is because I have seen lately people mention a lot about external traffic like Google Ads, influencer marketing, so on. And I wanted to hear your take on this. I wanted to hear what you feel about this strategy like Google Ads, influencer marketing. Have you used them? And if you feel realistically they bring a big jump and benefit when it comes to scaling your brand on Amazon. Yeah.
Google Ads can definitely make a difference if you do it right. Google's ads can be a little bit tricky, but 25% of the traffic coming onto Amazon comes from Google. People, most people start their product search on Amazon. I think something like 60%, 70%, but 25% of them are starting on Google, and another small amount on Bing and a few other places. But those should be a major focus for you, whether you're using tools like Amped or some of the other tools that are out there to help with that. Using the brand referral bonus, if you're brand registered, can help mitigate some of those costs, but that's important to do. Influencers are hit or miss. So influencers can be extremely valuable, but you don't control the influencer, and you don't control exactly when they're going to post or what audience is going to see it, or what kind of job they're going to do. I mean, you can work with them. There's some things that you can suggest and stuff, but they can be hit or miss. An influencer can definitely, the right influencer can blow up your listing and give you a lot of freaking sales, but it's difficult. It's almost like throwing darts at the wall. in the bar, sometimes you hit that bullseye, but most of the time you don't.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem with influencers. It's something that I think you should try, and you should be putting stuff out on, especially on TikTok right now, and YouTube Shorts are two, and Reels are the three areas that you should be focusing on. Short little clips, and you just got to stick a bunch against the wall. People will put out a video, or have an influencer put out one video, and then sit back and hope that the cash register rings. And oftentimes it doesn't. These algorithms,
you need to warm the audience. Yeah.
Plus, some things go viral and some don't. Nobody really truly understands the reasons. So you just got to throw a lot of mud against the wall. So if you're on TikTok and video and YouTube Shorts, you should be posting if you're a brand owner, 5 to 10 videos a day. And these can be these don't have to be 5 to 10 totally different videos. You can have someone create a 2-minute cool video, and then you can have AI tools slice that up into 5 videos that are 10 videos that are 5 to 10, 20 seconds each. And they're very similar. You can change the background. There's video editing tools now that can change the background. So if it's your water bottle, throw one of them where it's sitting in the snow with mountains in the background, and then have another one where it's on the beach, and have another one where it's in a gym, and so on. And these AI tools can automate this and change out that stuff, and then just keep pumping them out. And one of them's going to get 100 views, the next one's going to get 50 views, the next one's going to get 400, and all of a sudden one of them's going to get 2 million, and you just don't know which one. And so that's
it's a numbers game.
It's a numbers game. And then you could go out to user generated content, but it's the same thing. If you get user generated content, you got to cut that up and send it out in the same way. It's throwing darts, and if you get a dart to hit that bullseye, then it can be good for you.
Yeah, for sure. And now talking about influencers,
if you're trying to launch a product, you can't count on that, because you don't know if it's going to work or not. So it needs to be unless you've got a specific relationship with an influencer. You're best buddies with Kim Kardashian, and you're like, hey, I'm launching my new water bottle on this date. Can you mind making a post on it? Then you can coordinate that. That's great if you have that with someone but most of us don't.
Yeah, I have seen that mistake so many times. People say, "Oh yes, I secured this 2-3 million follower influencer. I paid 2,000-3,000 for a post." And it's like, oh my god! And most of the time, it doesn't end up working, because when you have these huge audiences, sometimes it's not even that engaging, and yes, it's a flop most of the time. So you need to really understand which influencers to work with. Now talking about influencers, and I think I want to bring this a little bit back to Amazon. We have seen how Amazon, is really understanding that social media is here to stay when it comes to actually shopping and the whole e-commerce ecosystem. And we see how they keep trying things such as Amazon Live, Amazon Inspire. And I wanted to hear your take on this, because I feel, Amazon is pushing more and more to become like what TikTok is doing, but within their own platform. And I wanted to know if you're using some of these tools already. Have you seen some benefit? And what is
I think I have not used Inspire, the new TikTok knockoff. I've done a bunch of stuff with Amazon Post in the past, but I have not played with Inspire yet. But Amazon Live, I think, is a tough one. It's a lot of work for just a few sales. It just hasn't taken off in the U.S. I'm not saying it doesn't work on some cases, and it can be a great living for some of these stay-at-home moms and people, influencers that are doing it. If they can get on there and they got the time and they can make, $20 an hour, $25 an hour in commissions or something, it's great. But for us as sellers, if you're looking to move serious amounts of product, it's difficult. It's not what it is in Asia. In Asia, live shopping.
Yeah, everything's live streaming. That's why
it's huge. It's a cultural difference. Here we just in the West, it's I don't know why.
I think people don't have time to be honest. They don't want to sit and watch somebody speak. They just want to buy it. And
I think that's probably some of it. Or maybe it's we don't trust as much, maybe, or something. We want to see like the listing. We want to see more pictures. I don't know what it is. QVC and Home Shopping Network have been around a long time in the U.S., so it's not like it's a foreign concept, and not like it's something that people won't do. I just think it's not ever going to be what it is in Asia. And so I don't put a lot of effort into Amazon Live. I have a buddy that's doing a bunch of Amazon Live, and it says, this is a lot of work.
It's a
And-
Mr. Head. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. Awesome, awesome. And now to conclude today's episode, I wanted to hear your take on what you think about Walmart, and what is going so when as a marketplace compared to Amazon. Just to hear your predictions, because everybody's also lately been talking about Walmart. I know actually I've seen Walmart is going to be at your event, so I wanted to hear what is your take on Walmart moving forward in the future as a competitor to Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Walmart is going to continue to grow.
Hmm.
I don't think it'll ever be what Amazon is. It just they're too late to the game. But
Hmm.
Walmart is a major player, and they're going to continue to take a little bit of I don't know if it's market share necessarily, but more people will start buying some things on Walmart. So I
I
think
see.
Walmart is a smart place. Walmart.com in the US is a smart place to actually expand to. I would
Hmm.
actually, before I did that though, if you're selling in the US, I would expand to Canada before I'd expand to Walmart.
Interesting.
Just because it's the same system, you understand Amazon already. When my sales in Canada are about between 7 and 10% of what my sales are in the US, and that's probably about what you can expect right now on Walmart. Some people, it depends on what you sell. So I
Yeah,
know some people are doing 30% of their sales or more
that depends on the niche.
on
Hmm.
Walmart, but it depends on the niche and what you're selling. But I think Walmart is a place that you should have a presence, and I still think Amazon is the best, but Walmart is going to be around. It's not a fad.
Awesome. Yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing your insights. I just want to hear your take because I know it's been something very hot lately, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the coming years with Walmart. But yeah, Kevin, I mean, thank you very much for being here. I mean, all these things you share with us add ton of value to our community and the sellers that are watching this. So I appreciate that. And before we conclude today's episode, I want you to tell us a little bit more about the $1 billion Summit, which is happening very soon. I know everybody's excited about that. Everybody's speaking about that. So tell us a little bit about it before we go. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So in 2019, I started the $1 billion Seller Summit, and the aim is to have a high level mastermind. You go to a lot of conferences, and they can be great, but a lot of times it's the same old speakers, or it's the same old
Mhm.
content, or it's kind of basic content. I
That's
call
right.
it corporate speak. It's just like it's kind of like fluffy. It's not like actionable. So I want something that's actionable. Where if you're a big seller and you're doing 7, 8, 9 figures a year on Amazon, and you come to this event and you learn one thing, it's one tactic, one like strategy, one software tool, and you go back and implement that, it immediately makes a 6-figure, $100,000 plus difference in your business. So that's what I push. So I very carefully select the speakers. Nobody's paying to speak, or it's not because you're a sponsor.
Hmm.
I know who's the best of the best, who's the best technicians, and that's who speaks. So the content is A plus. Plus, they compete for cash prizes. They're competing for $5,000 cash, and I publish a list of the top 10 speakers, and nobody wants to be at the bottom
Yeah.
or not on that list because there's more than 10 speakers. So if you didn't make the list, that means you're in the
Yeah.
bottom. So they're all bringing their A game of like new cool stuff that they haven't shared before. Not the same thing they presented last week in London or
Yeah.
something. And so
Yeah.
that's good. And because it's an expensive ticket to come, it means you're pretty serious. And so you
Mhm.
only get serious sellers and people who really are there to learn. So the networking is A plus. We do a lot of fun stuff, like we're doing a Family Feud contest. It's like a game show contest. We do like a Survivor, like the reality show TV show.
Mm.
We do
Okay.
doing so some Survivor games, or they're competing each other because entrepreneurs are very competitive. And then we
Yes.
do some cool parties and some other cool stuff around. So it's a really fun event. This will be the 8th one. So I do one in person a year. This year it's in Puerto Rico. Next year
Mhm.
it's in Hawaii. And then I do one virtually. So there's a lot of people that don't want to travel, can't afford to travel. And so I do one. It's a little bit cheaper, but I do that virtually in February. And then
Okay.
I have the $1BillionSellers.com newsletter that's coming out. It's totally free, no charge. That'll be coming out starting in July. That's going to deliver value, really good value 3 times a week.
Awesome. Love it. Yeah. Thank you very much for all that information. I'm gonna make sure to put it down in the description so people can find it. In the meantime, yes, I want to thank you for coming to the podcast once more. And on top of that, for all the content you put out there and these things that you bring to the space, I feel like we definitely need more quality content. As you mentioned, there is not a lot out there, and I appreciate you doing this. Yeah, see you in the next one, Kevin. It's been a
All right.
pleasure. Yeah. Thank you for
Awesome,
being
man.
here.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it.